Okay, everybody. It is 8 o'clock, and I see that we have a bunch of viewers hopping on here, which is really exciting to me. For the presenters, just as a reminder, if you'll go ahead and mute, and then when it's your turn, just go ahead and unmute. And to do that, it's at the very top of your screen. My name's Claire Watson. I am a Ruby ambassador working for Plexus Worldwide, and I'm really excited to have some of my friends share their stories with you tonight. This call has been something that the Lord has put on my heart, and I am just so excited to see Him working through different avenues to bring it to fruition. I'm just like all the other ladies on this call. We are all moms, and us moms have to stick together. We just need to learn from each other, and that's kind of what this call is about. We wanted to share from our hearts how, as a mom, how we're able to grow this business at the same time as we are growing our babies. And for the moms that are sharing with you tonight, our babies are all different ages, all different stages of life, and it's just going to be really neat to hear from them. We want this to be very practical for you. We want it to be something that can help you envision how you can add hope to your life, how you can add the hope of spending more time with your kids, or not having to lay in bed at night worrying about the bills that you've got to pay for different school things or different health issues that have come up. We want you to experience the freedom and the excitement that we have with our family because of what Plexus has brought us. So we're really excited to do that tonight, and I think that what some of these ladies are going to share is going to be really powerful. And I'm just praying that it's an answer to something that you have been searching for, that it's an answer to something that you didn't even know maybe what it was. You didn't know kind of what to put your finger on, but you just know that you need something, that something has to change, that something has to get better. And I'm just praying that you will find that you will see that for yourself in what these ladies share tonight. So we're going to get started. There is, if you didn't see some of the descriptions of this event, there is a plethora of different stages of life for these women. And I'm so excited to introduce the first person to share with us tonight. Her name is Kylie Schwanee. She is a mom of a newborn baby boy, and he is just the cutest. I'm a little biased because I'm his aunt. Kylie is my sister-in-law, and she has been able to be so successful in being a mom to a newborn and also having Plexus as a business. So Kylie, if you would go ahead and unmute and share with us, I'm so excited to hear your story.
Awesome. Thanks, Claire. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Awesome. Well, guys, I'm so excited. As Claire said, my name is Kylie Schwanee, and I am currently a Silver Ambassador with Plexus. And I am just so excited to share a little bit of my story with balancing having a newborn baby with working my Plexus business. This is all so fresh on my mind because my little one, as Claire said, he is just now coming out of this newborn phase. So this entire time of his life, I've been working my Plexus business, and so I'm so passionate to share this with you guys. He is just over 3 months. His name is Carter, and he's the silliest, loudest, most active, most wonderful little boy ever, and I'm so excited and honored to be his mom. If you're a mom, which most of you are if you're on this call, I assume, you totally understand the madness of having a newborn. You know, it's kind of like this twilight zone that you're in, and it lasts kind of a few months. For me, at least it did, especially as a first-time mom. And I honestly, going into having a baby, I thought honestly that my Plexus business would just have to take a back seat. I really thought that. I thought I'm going to have to take a break. There's just no way that this can happen at the same time. And I am here to tell you that I have found the complete opposite to be true. Not only have I been able to keep working my business, but these past few months of Carter's life have been my strongest months with Plexus, both from a financial point of view, from a team building point of view, and that has been a huge blessing to my family. I made the decision to stay home from teaching school this year. And so having Plexus and working that business has made that transition seamless for us. And it's just been a huge answer to prayer. So in the next minute or two, I'm just going to share 3 little tips of how I learned how you can successfully balance working your business with having a newborn baby. So I'm going to make it real simple. And these are just a few things that popped into my head in this newborn phase of life. So number 1, working your business in this newborn phase of life. I have learned it's very important to give yourself only a few achievable goals a day. I learned to plan my life out task by task, at least with my business, so that I could accomplish a few tasks and therefore I won the day with my business. And so you might have 15 different things that you want to knock out, but we know that in that newborn phase, you know, you might just have to limit it to just a few things. Make it achievable for yourself. And the way that I did that, the way that I fit working a business in with having a newborn baby was those little snippets of 2 or 3 minutes all throughout the day. There's so many of those minutes. I feel like sometimes I'll find myself, you know, sitting on the floor during tummy time with my little one and having a couple minutes maybe to respond to a message or take a quick picture or something like that. And knocking out a few items off of my list in just those segments of 2 or 3 minutes throughout my day. That was me working my business. That's what it looked like for me these past few months. And all of those little things that you do in those moments add up hugely, and they pay off literally and figuratively. And so I learned that taking advantage of those chunks of time makes such a difference. And so that would be my first thing. You know, if your baby goes down for a nap, first of all, you take a nap, okay? You deserve it. All right. But if you ever have those moments where you just have a little bit more energy, and for me, that was only a couple minutes at a time, that's when I worked my business. So make some achievable goals and take advantage of those little chunks of time that you have throughout the day. Secondly, you have to have grace for yourself too. You know, you have to take care of yourself. Working your business might look a little different when you have a newborn baby, but it doesn't mean that it has to go away altogether. Just the way that you work it might look a little different, and that's okay. And then my third tip that I have learned that I think is most important to me, and that has made the biggest difference, is to remember why you're working your business. I think knowing why you're doing this and the motivation that you have, for me, that is my motivation is to stay at home with my baby. And so knowing that because I have this business, I'm able to stay home with him, that is more motivating to me than anything. And so that's what motivates me to take advantage of those little moments of 2 or 3 minutes throughout the day. And so that's what I say that I've picked up over these last few months in this newborn phase. Those few things have made the biggest difference and helped me balance being there for my newborn baby and all that entails. And it is a lot, we know that. But also, being able to work your business is absolutely feasible. And before I kick it back to you, Claire, I just wanted to share 2 Plexus products that I think have made me a better mom in this phase. And I'm just gonna make it real quick. The first one is the Pink Drink Slim. I feel like it's really helps me make better food choices. You know, when you're a new mom, you just kind of want to eat everything, especially me, as I'm breastfeeding, and you just want to eat and eat and eat. And so Slim has really helped me make those good food choices, and the probiotic has helped my immune system stay strong with little sleep there in the beginning with a newborn. And so having those products and having this business opportunity have just been the biggest blessing, and it's totally achievable even with a newborn. So Claire, back to you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kylie, so much. I also empathize with the newborn stage of life, and something that I hope that everyone kind of is able to absorb through what is shared is how you mentioned having grace for yourself. And this is a business that can definitely do that for you. So up next, we have an emerald that we want to speak to you. This is Amy Triplett, and I have met Amy actually through Plexus, which is such a blessing. And her story is a powerhouse story of how Plexus has literally changed her life, her husband's life, her kids' lives. And it's so exciting that she gets to share this with you guys and that she can walk you through the specific tangible ways that Plexus has blessed their family. So Amy, go ahead and take off with it.
Thank you, Claire. I appreciate you so much. It's such an honor to be on here. And Kylie, oh my goodness, I love your story. I love your attitude, and congratulations on your new baby. So exciting. So my kids are a little bit older. My baby girl just started kindergarten, which is crazy. So we're kind of just joining a new phase of life where all my kids are in school. So she's in kindergarten. Her name's Eden. And then I have a 7-year-old, Judah, and then a 10-year-old named Luke. So my babies are getting bigger, and I miss that newborn stage, honestly. So let me just tell you a little bit about my story and why I joined Plexus, because also my motivation was to stay home with my kids. I was a teacher for 8 years, and I went back to work when my son was 5 months old. And so it broke my heart. I know some people are okay and they love it, and everyone has their own different goals, and that's totally fine. But for me, I'm telling you, I cried every day on the way to work and every day on the way home. And it was really, really hard. I was thankful to be a teacher because we had the summer breaks, but every time we had to go back, I would have a meltdown. After Christmas break, I'd have a meltdown. I was always battling mama guilt. So when I had my second baby, we decided I could do part-time, and that was great. But then when I had my third baby, especially working part-time, it was actually costing me more money to work, I think, than it was to, for childcare and everything like that. So I had my dream of being a stay-at-home mama. And so one thing that we did, though, is my husband was in ministry, and my income was a huge part. Like, going from 2 incomes to 1 is really difficult, especially if you know anything about being in ministry. So it's not, people don't go into ministry for the money. Let's put it that way. So we moved. Somebody actually blessed us with a 600 square foot mobile home that was mint green. My kids call it green bean, and called it green bean. And it was one of those things, it was really run down. So that was a blessing. But shortly after we decided that I would be a stay-at-home mom, I was so happy about it. But my husband then actually stepped down from his position and then assumed he could get this better job, but he wasn't able to. So we actually made $18,000 as a family of 5 in the year 2013. So just think about that for a minute. Things were tight. So then our home, that, it became a blessing in the sense that we weren't homeless, that was great. But I struggled with mom guilt again, thinking, am I being selfish by being a stay-at-home mom? Like, I have a teaching degree. Should I be giving my kids better things? Honestly, they were happier. I was homeschooling, and at the time they were 1, 3, and I'll just tell you, I loved being a stay-at-home mom, but oh my goodness, I did not have the energy for it. Honestly, I was struggling with, I don't know, compliant wise, let's say head trauma, pain, I don't know, exhaustion. But I'm telling you, I'll just describe it for you. Pillow on my head, lights off, yelling at the kids to be quiet because I was in so much pain. I sometimes had to call my husband to come home from work. It was really bad. Well, along with that came some, I had a severe sugar addiction. And, you want to feed your kids healthy, but I was always, all right, kids, who wants Dunkin' Donuts? Around 3 o'clock, like we didn't have money, but I always had money for Dunkin' Donuts. Like, thank you for like $1 donut, I guess. But I'm telling you, like, if we didn't have chocolate in the house, we were loading up and we were going to find some. And it just became a horrible habit. So, I was happy to be home with my kids, but things weren't perfect or easy. And again, we were really struggling financially. So I was watching my friend Amber. It's actually a mutual friend of Claire and I. Amber was my college roommate, and she had just lost 50 pounds. So I'm watching her on Facebook, and I am so proud of her. Like, she was really fun about the way she posted, and I was just drawn to it, and I was very, very happy for her. But I kept liking everything, and I'm a cheerleader anyway. So it's like, I'm not really a cheerleader. I'm not coordinating, but like, mentally. Like I cheer people on. So I was like, oh my goodness, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. So she messaged me on Facebook and she was like, hey girl, I see you liking my stuff. Would you like information? And I remember thinking, absolutely not. Like, no way. Even if I had the money, which I absolutely do not have the money, I would never pay someone like to lose weight. No, I don't do diet pills. And it's just like you diet and exercise. Well, thankfully, Plexus is far from a diet pill. It is all about gut health. I didn't know that because you didn't know. I didn't know. So, but come to find out, like during the holidays, I was trying to diet and exercise, but there was that horrible sugar addiction. I don't even celebrate Halloween, but when it came along, I found a way to have candy in my house. And all the holidays, like Amber and all these people joining her, probably Claire, I don't know when you did, but like I see all these other people like feeling good, losing weight, saying they don't want their sodas anymore. Just things like that. And it got my attention. I'm like, like I just couldn't control I don't know. I tried. I really did. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. So I'm still paying attention. And then I started researching, you know, how you research, like who died from Plexus, dangers of Plexus. You know, I did all that. Come to find out it's actually really healthy and good for you and natural. And like the stories were amazing. And I started kind of looking at my own, more good than bad, and all these other things that it could help with. And I was really surprised. So I kind of mentioned it to my husband, but he was like, are you kidding me? Like we can barely afford groceries. There's no way. Just don't even think about it. So I was like, okay, fine. So one thing is I never told Amber about our financial situation ever. She didn't know. Like I'm pretty happy, positive, you know, social media. So even on my social media, I'd be like, best homeschool day. Here's our cute Pinterest fun thing we did. I never took pictures of me with a pillow on my head and yelling at the kids, you know, like that's not what you saw on Facebook. So anyway, so one day Amber posted on Facebook and she said, got my Plexus paycheck and I made enough to cover my mortgage, my car payment, and my product. That got my attention because another thing that I was doing, because I was feeling guilty about not going back to work, is I was actually searching for ways to make money from home. Never, ever, ever intended it to be network marketing because I didn't think it was a scam, but I didn't think you could actually make an income from it. I just thought it was they do it for like a free candle or just for a hobby or something. I didn't really think it was like an income thing. So I was doing homeschool evaluations. I was tutoring. I was doing like that substitute teaching, stuff like that, where I could just make a little bit on the side, but I could still be a stay-at-home mom. But that was not enough. I mean, it was barely covering anything. And so when Amber posted that, you guys, I'm telling you, I know sometimes we shy away from sharing the business opportunity, but it literally changed my life. Like that post changed the financial future of our family. So, and Amber didn't, you know, like I said, she didn't even know I was watching her. So I had already told her no. So when she wrote that, I called her on the phone and I was like, tell me what you made. And she told me, and I just remember thinking, are you serious? Like, because again, I trust her. I knew her. She's my good friend from college. She wasn't some paid actress or some girl I didn't even know. Like I know her and I know her character. So when she told me that, my thought was, if she can do it, that means it's possible and I will figure it out. And I told my husband, like, we didn't pay a bill in order for me to join. It wasn't like I had the money on the side. We did not have the money, but I kind of saw it as that's why I had to do this. Because we didn't have the money, I had to do this. I had to do something differently because I was already kind of on the fence of thinking I might need to go back to work full time. And I didn't even know how that was going to work with like, really the way I was feeling physically too. You know, how could I can't, it was just a horrible like situation that we were visiting, but this to me was hope. So I just thought, what do I have to lose? Like the risk was nothing compared to the rewards that I saw in my head. And so let me just tell you, I was desperate to do it. And I was very determined. I had zero experience. I had no clue what I was doing. And so I went ahead and joined. And let me just tell you how I did it, because sometimes we hear, I'm an Emerald Ambassador. I don't know if we're going to go over what that means, but I'm just going to tell you, it's a 6-figure position. I was able to retire my husband. I was able to take my kids, put them in an amazing classical Christian school. I drive a free Lexus. My husband and I are about to go on to Hawaii for the second time in just a few weeks. We were able to move out of our 600 square foot trailer. So I'm telling you those things, not to brag, but just to tell you it is possible. But I also want to tell you how I did it, because sometimes you hear these stories, 18,000 and a year to 6 figures. Wow. But how? Okay. Because it's not always easy. It's not a get rich quick thing, but you can do it. The problem is some people aren't willing to do what it takes. They're not taking it seriously. Whereas I needed to do this. So I remember when I was a teacher, what did I do? I took classes on education. You know, I went to college. I invested a ton of money to go and pay my way through college. And why don't we think of it the same way when it comes to network marketing, when truly I make way more than I ever did as a public school teacher. So here's what I did. Because I was a homeschool mom, okay, I still had my babies, and we had to balance, okay. I had my 3 kids. They were 1, 3, and 6 at the time, and I was homeschooling, like I said, and my husband was working. By this point, he had got a different job, and he was working until usually 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So here's what I did. 7 o'clock in the morning, around the time my kids would get up. I'd like to say I got up before them. That would be a lie. I got up pretty much when they're, you know, come on. So I would make one post on Facebook. I would make a post on Facebook, something not salesy, something like, oh my goodness, I slept through the night. This is amazing. Or, wow, the stuff actually tastes good. I don't know if it's this or not, but I didn't have Dunkin' Donuts today. Ooh, win. You know, those were the kinds of things I would share. I would just share my story. That's it. And so I would make some kind of post, and then I would put my phone away and then we'd do our homeschool and everything until 2 o'clock. And I had to make myself a schedule. I had to do it because otherwise you can get lost in all these things. So from 2 to 3 o'clock, I would put the babies down for a nap, my 2 youngest, and I tell my 6-year-old, unless you're bleeding or dying, mama is working. I explained to him, I am working. I'm not playing on my phone, you know? So this was his time, and he knew, and I did not feel guilty about it because we were all day together, and I you know, that was that. And basically I'd answer messages during that time, usually for my posts or whatever. And then from 9 to 11, when my kids went to bed, when I would normally be watching TV, truly that's what I really gave up, was television. From 9 to 11, I'll just tell you, I did my training. Just like I said, you educate yourself. Well, with Plexus or network marketing, you need to educate yourself on your own. So I would go to YouTube and watch videos, watch things that would motivate me. Like, you know, we have something called Diamond Documentaries. I'd watch one of those. I'd read, we have a lot of training through our, we get a website with a lot of training. I'd go through that. So every day my goal was to learn something new. And I'd almost put a time limit on it. Like, okay, I'm learning something new. If I were driving somewhere or doing dishes or doing something, I'm usually listening to some kind of training of some sort. And it's endless. There's so many things, training that we have available to us. And we have a system that just makes it easier. But then I would reach out to people, and then I would follow up with people. And then the last thing, which I feel like is the most important thing, is I would build my passion. And you want to know how I did that? I would read testimonies, things like we're doing right now. These kinds of things would motivate me so much. I actually remember, Roz, watching your story and just being like, just blown away, and thought, oh my goodness, like if these people can do it, why can't I do it? You know? And I would ignore the naysayers, and I would keep going. And then on top of that, the products are phenomenal. Then it didn't become so much just about me wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. It became like, oh my goodness, people need what we have, because that head trauma, or whatever you want to call it, I don't think I could say the medical word for it, but I stopped, like the pain went away completely, which is so crazy. It's been 3 years for me. And I am a way better mom. Like, instead of yelling at my kids, I'm yelling with them, and we're playing and we're dancing and we're having fun. And now I'm the mom I want to be, you know, and it's been 3 years, and it makes me so happy that I can give my kids the best of, you know, best of myself. And we're able to move from our trailer, like I said, and it's just been incredible. So it can be done. You have to want it. You have to know why you want it, and you have to keep going. And that's what I decided. For me, it was not, I'm going to give this a try. It was, I'm going to do this, and I'm never going to stop. Let me just say this last thing, and I'm going to hand it back over to Claire. If it takes me, my thought was, if it took me 20 years to make even a 1/10 of what a Diamond Ambassador makes, that's still more than I was making as a public school teacher. So why not give this everything we have, you know? And so that's what I did. And I was able to hit one of the top positions in less than 2 years, a 6-figure position that completely changed our lives in less than 2 years. And I'm still going. I'm not the top yet, but I will be, because nothing's going to ever stop me. And now tons of my friends and family, and like, it's not just about me, God answering my prayer, because we could have won the lottery. He could have answered it some way, but he did it in a way where it changed our health, it changed our finances, and we get to bless so many others and watch their health and finances change as well. It's just truly the most incredible thing in the world. So that's it. Thank you, Claire, and I will hand it back to you.
Amy, thank you so much. Every time I get to hear your story, I'm again inspired at just what hard work and passion and dedication can do with the tools that this company has given us. I love that it looks like you're sitting in like your own office now.
I am. I have an office. How weird, right?
Yeah.
My daughter didn't even have a bedroom for 3 years, and now I have an office. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Up next is a rock star ambassador. Her name is Brooke, and I want you guys to be watching her because she is about to get a big promotion any day now, and I'm so excited for it. She's a mom of the sweetest little girl, and I'm so excited for her to share with you how Plexus has helped her in her life as she works outside the home and also has a Plexus business. So Brooke, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Claire. It's so fun to also be former high school friends, and now we get to be Plexus teammates together. That's so fun. I love it. And yes, I am a silver ambassador. I am this close to promoting to gold this month, so fingers crossed, prayers. I am so excited. My journey actually started when I was about 6 months pregnant with my baby, and I wanted something. I was also a teacher like Kylie and Amy, and if you know anything about teachers, we don't make a lot of money, and all of my friends seemed to have an extra thing. They had something outside of teaching. They had some kind of side business. Somebody had a bakery. One of them did metalworking and just all these extra little side gigs, and I just kind of felt like I wasn't doing anything except teaching. And now teaching is awesome, and it's definitely a passion, and it's what I was put on this earth to be, is to be a teacher, but I just wanted something outside of that. So I watched several of my friends posting on Facebook about Plexus, and I kind of did the eye roll and the scroll on by, and then I saw my teacher friend Terry Paxton started getting into Plexus, and she was my teammate, and so I just went up to her and I was like, okay, give me a little bit more about this Plexus deal. What's the real deal? She told me how much she made in just 2 months, and I said, oh my gosh, that's half of my monthly salary. That's insane. Okay, I want in. So I'm 6 months pregnant, and this is in December of 2014, and I actually spent what we should have spent on Christmas presents. I spent on starting my own Plexus business. So, and the funny thing is, and I tell everybody this, I actually was scared to try the products myself while I was pregnant. I actually watched another pregnant friend of mine who was a Plexus ambassador. I watched her take the products throughout her pregnancy, and I sat back and was like, I'm just gonna wait and see and make sure that her baby comes out healthy before I try these products. I know, right? So crazy. And now I'm like, okay, baby number 2 is going to be a Plexus baby from the very beginning, because I've seen Claire's baby be a healthy Plexus baby and Kylie's baby be a healthy Plexus baby, and it just makes sense. So I actually didn't try my first products until after my baby girl was born. And I started with BioCleanse and ProBio, and then I started taking Slim a little bit later. So anyway, when she was a newborn, I was working my business from home, and I actually was able to take off from spring break until the beginning of the next school year. And so I had that glorious chunk of time with her at home. And the first day I had to go back to work and I had to take her to daycare absolutely broke my heart. Just like Amy, I cried. I didn't want to have to leave her. It became my why. It became my, I'm going to grow this Plexus business so that I don't have to do this anymore, so I don't have to take my daughter to a daycare for somebody else to watch her while I'm working. So I found little chunks of time while I was a teacher to work on my Plexus business so that I could eventually reduce my teaching. I am now actually a teacher with a different school, and I get to teach from home. I get to teach online. So I will have more time at home with her and still get to work my Plexus business. And what I found was I had to kind of fit it into those little nooks and crannies of my day. I would get up in the morning and maybe, like Amy said, I would make a post or send out a message. I'd get ready. I'd get my daughter ready. We would drive to her daycare, and I would listen to training calls in the car too. That's the best time to listen to training calls. You have nothing else to do. I don't listen to the radio much, so I would just put on a training call. I would take her to school. I would drop her off at daycare, and then I would go to my school, and I would sit in the parking lot, and there was another 5-10 minutes that I could send out a message, follow up with somebody, make another post. I had to watch, make sure that I wasn't posting on Facebook during company time while I was at school. But after school, again, couple minutes in the car before I actually left the parking lot to go get my daughter, I could send another message, make another post. So just finding those little bits of time. She's actually at the age now where she is a great reminder of when I've been working too much, when I've been on my phone too much. If she feels like she's not getting enough mommy time, she will come up and say, "Mommy, phone down." Yes, ma'am. Because spending time with her is the most important thing. So I will definitely work my Plexus business in those nooks and crannies, and having a great support system as well. For example, right now she's in another room with daddy, and they're getting some daddy-daughter snuggle time, which is awesome for them, so that mommy can do her business and mommy can do what I need to do to help our family. So that's kind of it. Thanks, Claire, for letting me share that little bit of my story.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like 6 months behind you kind of with where we're at with our family. So thank you so much. And I've been praying for you so much with your promotion. I'm so excited for when it's going to happen.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's going to be a big party. Okay, so next, you guys get me. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story and how I kind of make things work. So a lot of the ladies on this call have come from the teaching education world, and I actually come from the corporate world. So I have a degree in marketing, and that's where I was. I was in the corporate world working for a few companies, and then my husband and I moved right around the time that I got pregnant. And to share with you, I have a 18-month-old little girl. Her name's Grace. My husband, Craig, and then we have a dog named Winnie. She's a little boxer. And Plexus has really sustained us. So sharing with you the time that I've been a mom, it really helped my pregnancy. So Brooke kind of mentioned how she waited to watch people. For me, it helped my pregnancy so much. I had energy while I was pregnant. Grace was super healthy, still is super healthy. Taking those probiotics has really helped her system. And after having her, my husband and I started our own business. So we have a chiropractic clinic that's here in the west part of Oklahoma City, and taking for all kinds of trust. It's an undertaking for your time, it's an undertaking for your finances, and I can just tell you that Plexus has helped to sustain us through all of that. With what we're able to have with Plexus as far as income, we, through this whole time of starting our business, never had to worry about paying our mortgage. We never had to worry about paying our car payment, and we never had to worry about paying for our products to keep us healthy for this stage in our life. And to see even my husband's excitement, asking me, when are we gonna, what's the next Plexus paycheck coming through, and being able to be excited about what the Lord is providing for us in this time of transition that we've had. So that has been a big part of what the business has done for me. It helped me to keep feeling safe. Having a baby to provide for, I didn't ever have to lay in bed worrying, were we going to have a safe place for her to be, a safe place for her to sleep? And that enabled me to put more time in helping with starting this business, to put more emotional energy. I didn't have to spend that emotional energy worrying and stressing. I could spend that emotional energy in a positive way and dreaming about what this business could be. And it has been so much fun. It's been a lot of work, but so much fun. And so now I work, my husband's the chiropractor, and I work the front desk of our clinic. It's called Wellspring Chiropractic. And so there's a lot of variables, you know, working outside the home, also being a mom, and having a Plexus business. And so you kind of how, for us, how we have made that work. And the first thing that I want to share with you guys is when you're in this business, you are not alone. You have a whole team around you, to the sides, the people that have come before you, the people that sign up after you, all lifting you up, all sharing ideas. You're not starting over from scratch. You're not going to be left on your own to try and figure this out. You have friends, people who genuinely care about you, even if you just meet them through Plexus. It's amazing how they genuinely care about you, and we all share ideas with each other. If you're kind of having a down day, a down week, we come alongside each other and pick each other up. So I just wanted to say that you are not alone if you're thinking about starting this kind of venture. So how we balance schedules in this house really focuses on communication. So we make sure that we are talking all the time about what our schedules look like. So specifically for me, I have talked with my husband about setting specific days that I'm going to be focusing on working this Plexus business. I want to make sure to prioritize the clinic when I need to prioritize the clinic, and prioritize Plexus when I need to prioritize Plexus. And so sometimes during the week, so if we have a specific event going on, the days that I work might change, but there are specific days that we set aside that I work this business. There are also specific hours. So for me, nap time, that newborn stage, I'm kind of used to the lack of sleep. And so nap time for me, that is when I make sure that I am working the business. I am messaging people to follow up with them. I'm teaching myself, I'm learning from other people, watching different trainings. And then after Grace goes to sleep, that's when I get a lot of my stuff done. And it's at night. And so people will follow up with me maybe later the next day, but that's when that's the routine, the rhythm that we've been able to set that works really well for our family, because when we come home from working at the clinic, I'm able to be invested in making dinner and having dinner as a family. And then after Grace goes to sleep, then we know that it's my time to be working. And I also wanted to share a little tip of, you know, there are some times as I'm working, and it's not necessarily a set time that I can be working Plexus, I might think of a fun post that I want to make about Plexus, or I might see someone else share some information that's really, really valuable that I want to be able to share as well. And I save those in my notes on my phone. So one thing that I just recently learned is you can save information, yes, in your notes, but you can also add a picture to it. And so I can have that picture be specific to that post that I want to post later when I have my working hours. And I don't have to go searching through my phone or searching Facebook again, trying to find, oh, who posted that. So that's just a little tip of how I try and stay organized in my tools, but also kind of in my mind. And then I can post them later. And then I also wanted to share a product that I feel like makes me a better mom. The product for me right now that makes me a better mom is hands down the new Vital Biome. So this is a mega probiotic that has clinical studies proving that it helps to relieve feelings of stress and anxiety. And let me just tell you, with all these things in the air that we're trying to coordinate, this Vital Biome is truly a godsend. I can tell a difference whenever I don't take it. And I'm just a happier mom, a happier wife. Things don't stress me out or get me all worked up as much as whenever I'm not taking that product. So just wanted to share that with you guys about what makes me a better mom. So up next, I am super excited to have you guys hear from a Diamond Ambassador, Rosalind Payne. She has such a fantastic story, very similar to Amy's in the way of she needed this business. And I'm excited to have her share with you all the details surrounding that. So Roz, go ahead and take it away for us.
Great. Thank you so much, y'all, for having me tonight. Like she said, my name is Rosalind Payne. I'm a Diamond Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I have been with Plexus since June of 2013. So I've been around for a while. My kids are a little bit older. I have a son who has just turned 16 years old, and I have a little girl who's 13. So when I started, they were 12 and 9 is where they were when I started. And when I started Plexus, I was actually working full time, and I had 2 jobs on the side. At one point, my whole career has been in advertising. I was a marketing professional as well, and I spent 19 years working in media buying, and I was a media director for a long, long time. At one point in time, owned a small ad agency. Well, in the recession of '07, completely wiped out my agency, completely wiped us out. In 2 phone calls, it was gone. And we had to struggle to, keep our head above water and to make ends meet. And so I was always picking up extra work. I had a couple clients that were still kind of hanging on, and I was still helping them out. But I spent years and years just working so hard and felt like we were always just barely keeping our head above water. And it just didn't seem fair that we had, my husband and I both worked very hard, and we always did the right things. We were good people, but we just could never get ahead. Or the minute we could get ahead, the tires would go out in the car, and we'd have to whip out a credit card. Or we'd get a little bit ahead, and we'd be so excited, maybe we can do a weekend getaway, and boom, the hot water heater would go out. It was always something. Stuff that would just make you buckle and cry because you were just so tired of just not being able to make it. Well, when Plexus kind of entered my life, my best friend had started selling Plexus. Her name is Celeste Gwynn. She's now the #1 ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, which cracks me up, y'all, because she's never had a job a day in her life. So she's pretty amazing. But she came to me and she said, Roz, hey, you totally need to do this Plexus thing with me. And I immediately shut her down. I said, absolutely not. I said, when would I have time? When in the world would I have time to do anything like this? There's no way. I can barely, get quality time with my kids as it is. And life was so stressful. But what she desired was to help take that stress away from me. She wanted me to have the free time that she had. And I knew it and I understood it, but I did not believe in network marketing at the time. Y'all, I was a huge skeptic. I turned up my nose at it. I looked at it, like some of y'all have shared on this call. I was like, yeah, people really don't make money doing those things. And I would watch my friends. I'm like, oh, bless their hearts. The bottom's going to fall out of this thing, and this is all going to be over with in just a matter of months. But, I ended up being the one watching, and she was signing up all my friends as either customers or ambassadors because I wasn't signing up, and I was watching them get healthier. I was watching them feel better and start to build these little businesses, and they were making really good money just sharing how much they love the products. And it seemed so simple, but I still didn't believe that it could really be real. I really didn't believe this could really work for us. I had a heart condition. It's called paroxysmal atrial tachycardia. And that was a reason I didn't want to even try the products. It's where my heart would take off in irregular beats, going about 180 to 200 beats a minute. And I was like, girl, I don't even like to try things. I don't like to try random medications or even really, over the counter things. I don't know how it's going to affect my heart. And she said, for me, Roz, just take this list of ingredients to your doctor. Just let them vet it out. If not for you, do it for me. So I was like, all right, I'll be a good friend. I had 3 medical professionals look at this list and say, there is nothing in these products that can hurt you. There's nothing. And so I thought, okay, I'll try this little infamous pink drink and I'll see, what I think. And I tried it the first day. It was okay. I liked the taste. I was like, okay, I could do this. And I tried it the second day and I felt that sustained energy, and it didn't include that racing heart. I was so afraid of that. And because I didn't feel that, but I felt great, I was like, okay, I can kind of see how people are getting behind this. And over the next few weeks, I was just feeling better and better, but I still wasn't ready to jump into this as a business. That didn't seem attractive to me at all. And it wasn't until my husband came to me, and it was surprising because he was kind of the believer first. And he came to me and he said, babe, listen, what if this could help us out? What if this could help out our son? We were, like I say, barely making ends meet. And my son, he's high functioning on the autism spectrum, and he was needing a therapy. And it was a neurotherapy that was just now being offered down here in Dallas. And I never thought of him when I was thinking of this business. And I look back on it now, and it makes me so mad at myself, because the whole time when I was thinking about the business, I was thinking about how would people look at me if I did this? What would people say about me? I never once thought about what would this financial freedom do for my family. I didn't allow myself to go there because I didn't think it was real. But when he said that, because he watched all my friends doing very well, and he's like, what if this could help him? That was a complete paradigm shift, and everything changed. Because y'all, I mean, he was going into middle school, and he was struggling so bad. And I was so afraid to send him to middle school, because you guys know, even if you have typical children, middle school is hard. But if you have a kiddo that struggles, y'all, it is heart-wrenching to watch. And I did not want that for him. And I felt like I couldn't, I couldn't offer him the best I could, because I couldn't afford it. And it didn't seem right. It was $1,000 a month out of pocket for this therapy, and our insurance had refused to pay for it. So I said, okay, all right, if this could possibly help him, I'm going to give it a shot. I honestly thought I was going to make about $200. I said, John, we'll probably make $200. We're going to have to pray through the rest, because I have no idea how this is going to work, but I'll do it. So I just called up Celeste, and I said, okay, girl, I'm in. I'm going to give this a shot. And she was like, oh, game on. And I still have the notebook. They're right over here from where I took notes from that very first call on what to do. And I just put my blinders on, and I put my head down, and I went to work. And that first full month with Plexus, I made $1,200. And I remember just being elated, and not just for that $1,000 to help out Colton and to cover his therapy, but the extra $200, y'all, that gave me a hope that I never even knew existed. I never knew that I could do more than where I was. My husband and I never let ourselves dream bigger than our paychecks, because we thought, why should we ever do that? We will just let ourselves down. And it wasn't just, it just was a hopeless situation we felt like we were in. But this $1,200, it spoke to me. And I went back to Celeste, and I was like, girl, what if I could actually retire? I want to be the mom. I want to be that mom that's home when my kids get home. I want to be the mom that gets to be the room mom, and that's picks them up from school. And that's the mom I felt like my kids deserved, and they never had. And my kids were preteens, and all they ever knew was, going to grandma's and being shipped off and having sitters here and there. And gosh, I wanted so desperately to be that mom and to be home. And so I just said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I see my friends doing it. And you know what? Hey, I've got a computer. I got a laptop. I got Wi-Fi. I got these same products. I know I can do this. And I put my head back down, and I just took off. Didn't let people around me ranking up, dissuade me. I mean, I was focused hardcore. And in 9 months later, I ended up hitting Emerald with Plexus. 2 months after that, I went Sapphire, and 3 months after that, I hit Diamond. The journey, yes, it went fast. But I tell you what, you guys, if you are just hardcore laser focused, and you focus on that why, and the why is why you're doing this. Why do you want this so bad? And if you really want it, it's there for the taking. If you really, really want it, you just make that decision and go for it. And don't let naysayers, pull you away. Don't let somebody who chuckles at the fact that you're doing network marketing. They don't know. They have no idea this golden opportunity that we have in our hands. And it has just been absolutely amazing. I was able to retire. When I hit Sapphire, I retired from advertising, and that was a glorious day. And I have never been back. I do Plexus full time now. How did I do that? The question I get the most is, how did you do that while you were working full time? I really was strategic about it. Now, I worked at a job where I was at a computer. So I made sure that I woke up in the morning and I put up a post. At my lunch break, I took that lunch break and I would respond to messages or put up another post, or go sit in my car and do it so I could have complete privacy. End of the day, I would get right back on. I saved dinner and homework time for family time. And then after the kids went to bed, instead of TV, I used to watch all this trash reality TV, stopped watching that and decided, hey, it's a lot more fun to be making, building a business and making money in the evenings instead of sitting there watching TV. And the joy of building a business and bringing my friends into the business with me outweighed anything. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And it just happened. And it just became this machine. I stayed committed every day. I took my products every day, and I posted and I shared every single day. Communication was huge for me. I communicated huge with my team because I wanted them to know, guys, I'm not available during the day. So y'all are going to have to lean on each other. And my team still tells me, my core team, my core leaders will tell me that me pushing them into the deep end and forcing them to lean on each other made them stronger leaders. I taught them how to be resourceful. I taught them where to find information. I taught them where to find research. And, I said, you can reach me at my lunch break. You can reach me in the evenings, but otherwise you guys lean on each other. Pile up your questions and ask me at nighttime, and I'll get right back on with you. We had great communication, all of us, and it just worked. And all of us grew together, and it was just amazing. Let's see, my business at the beginning versus now. At the beginning, I really worked hard at the very beginning to get new customers. I was all about getting customers because everybody likes that. When you start off, you get new customers, you see immediate commissions, that feels great. I sat at Silver, y'all, for 5 months. I sat there, I wasn't sure what to do. And finally, when I figured out how if I can bring people into the business and help them start a business for themselves and they grew, residual income would come from that. And once I realized that, it made a lot more sense, and my business just started rolling, and I just kind of took off. So at the beginning, I worked a lot on customers and worked a lot on my own personal business. Now, 4.5 years in, I do a lot of team management, team trainings, encouragement with my team, contesting with my team, and I try to balance that about 50-50, 50% of my own business and about 50% of working with my team. Sometimes it ends up getting to be 80, maybe 90% with my team because I love them so much, and I want them to be where I am. I'm here, I'm Diamond, I've arrived, but gosh, my biggest desire is to get everybody up here with me, because there's no better joy than doing this with your friends. Y'all, my favorite products are the Triplex and Mega X. Those are my go-tos. I've loved the Triplex for years. If I happen to run out of something, or I'm on vacation and leave it at home and I skip a day or two, I can tell the difference, y'all. And I love Mega X combined with my ProBio before I go to bed. It makes me sleep like a baby. It's amazing. And I like the clarity I have in the morning. I feel like I wake up brighter. I wake up ready to go. So that's a little bit about my story. Thank you so much, so much for having me tonight, Claire. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Roz. I just feel like every time I hear your story, it just hits something deep with moms. So thank you so much for sharing that, and for letting us into a little bit of your heart and your background. I'm just super grateful for that. So hopefully, as you guys have heard all these different stories, you've seen different walks of life, different numbers of kids, different jobs that people have had, and hopefully you can envision yourself doing this and being successful. And I just want to give you a couple tips, I guess. I don't know where you guys are at. I don't know where your life is, what you've been hoping for, praying for, wanting to see change. But if, as far as financial freedom, I don't know if you need $100 extra a month or $200 extra a month. Or what, maybe it's the $1,200 extra a month that you just heard Roz share about. But I just want you to know that those numbers are totally feasible to happen soon. If you put in the right kind of work, talking with the people that that are in this business already, that is a goal that can be achievable by you quickly. So don't think that this is something that, if I start it, I'm going to have to wait years and years to even get those couple $100 a month. It's a goal that's very achievable for you. That hope of what those finances can bring is very achievable for you. It's right there. The other thing I wanted to encourage you guys to do is, however you heard about this video, however you heard about this time of us sharing our stories, if you're at all interested, or if you have any questions or you need any clarification, I would ask that whoever shared this information with you, that you go talk to them. You don't have to come and talk to one of us specifically. We would love for you to talk to the person who shared this information with you. They are your go-to. They are your resource. They're going to get you connected as much as you need. They're going to answer any questions as much as you need. And so we just encourage you to go back and to talk with them, and they'll get you connected. So thank you so much for watching. My prayer is just that something in you has a need, feels like it's being met, or that maybe you're on the road to having that need met right now. So thank you so much. Thank you all the presenters. Gosh, you ladies have just blessed me so much. It's just been such a kind of emotional hour for me. So thank you for spending your time to share your stories. Your stories are so important and so critical, and just continue to fan that passion that I have, and that I know so many other people have. So thank you so much, and we'll conclude the video. Thank you all.